Wreckfest. I'm playing on mobile here. It should be somewhat similar on all other platforms. I have my cars in my garage where I can actually change the characteristics of my car quite substantially by either making the looks different in the paint shop or upgrades. And I've got a tuning option which you usually get for each event and when you go into one. Now I want to know why tournaments are so difficult. So let's go back to the page here with tournaments. I am presently offline and tournaments can be played offline. However, they cannot be loaded while you're offline. It does help to go online once a day because there are daily challenges that come up. The two on the far left will change every day if you log on at about the same time every day. There's daily challenges right next to that, right to the right of that, the text 2. Those change every second day. They pay out twice as much as the ones that come up daily. There's also a weekly challenge. It pays out substantially more if you finish in the trophies. And there is a seasonal one. I don't believe the seasonal one changes that frequently, but it does change more frequently than, say, every quarter of a year or so. Now, the difficulty of these, well, it doesn't really matter whether it's a daily challenge or all the way through to a seasonal challenge. Some of them can be almost impossible to play, whether they're the daily challenge or the seasonal challenge. It doesn't matter at all. It's how you decide to head into the game that will determine whether you can actually accomplish the tasks. Some I have not been able to do and I just give up on them. With the longer challenges, it helps to look online to see if somebody's posted any hints on YouTube to see whether they can help you out with, say, the weekly challenge or the seasonal challenge. Or you can look up types of events when they come up for the daily or the second day challenge. Now, the reason why it's so difficult to do these, one of the reasons is, let's take a look at the one in the top left. Go on a racing challenge with Boogie. It is in the Fin Cross circuit, the main circuit, and we get to use a Bogey F. It's a Class B car, European car. That is the car we'd have to do the event with. I think I own one of those. Let's go back and check my garage. Into my garage. My cars. I've got a buggy. It's a B-class car. It's a B-class of 171 points. I think it's just barely over the B-class limit to be in a B-class. I've got 9 stats for my car there. There are 4 listed down the bottom there, just above the pictures of the car. There's another 4 here. We've got 4 gears to work with. But these stats on this page presently are not that important. The ones that are a little more important are the ones here. I have my car set up for a 5.1 acceleration. He does have a little armor, so he's loaded down a little bit. His top speed's only 3.4. Cornering, I decided I wanted lots of corners, so I didn't load him down too much. He's got 5.7 of cornering, and given I put a little armor on there, he's got 4.8 or 4.2 of strength. We're going to try to remember those numbers: 5, 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 4, 2. That is my buggy. So let's go back into tournaments. And we'll go back into the same race. We'll hit continue to have a look at what we've won here. It shows us a little bit of the Fin Cross circuit and what we're going to be competing against. Fortunately, of the 3 type of shots that come off of the track, we got to see what the competitors are. They're somewhat similar to our car. This is the event here. If I come in 6th or better, I'll get a bronze. If I come in 3rd or better, I'll get a silver. If I come in 1st, I'll get a gold. And there's only going to be 8 cars on the course. But you notice my buggy here says it's got B 194 points. Let's go back and look at my buggy. Does that look like the buggy I just showed you in my garage? I don't think so. I don't have them set up the way I've got way I like my buggy. That is why tournaments can be extremely difficult. At least one of the reasons. Not only is the paint different, all the setup and everything else is different. Now, if we go into difficulty, I've got driving difficulty set to custom, which allows me to change the ABS, traction control, and stability control how I like. I want them all fully on when I'm competing in tournaments. This will make the driving slightly easier. As I'm playing on a tablet on Android, I'm going to be using shifting automatic so I don't mess up my steering when I touch the screen as well. Now, the other thing to do is make sure when you go in here, you have done a prior race and the AI difficulty is not set to a very high level. Leave it at amateur when you come in here. I have a damage set actually to realistic. It doesn't seem to make a lot of difference in how the competition goes in tournaments, but I do suggest adjusting all of those when you go play a tournament. Every tournament. Now, my car, tuning of my car. It gave me a pretty humdrum car. I don't believe there's a lot of bumps on that track, so I'm going to set the suspension as stiff as I can. Since it's a winter, and it's a pretty smooth track, I'm going to set the differential as high as I can as well. I've got a better speed than I had on my car in my garage. I've got better acceleration as well. I even got better cornering, but I don't have as good a damage or strength, I should say, on my car here. Now, every time you do a tournament, always adjust these. Increase your suspension stiffness as much as you can. You don't always necessarily want to go to the maximum. You might want to go 1 or 2 notches below. The differential will depend on the track as well. As I say, I'm in snow. If I was, say, on a different track, one that was not as slippery, one that was all asphalt without the snow on it, I mightn't go as that high, or I might set it 1 notch down and I'd try to do the tournament, and if it didn't go well, I'd increase it. As for braking, that is something, well, you play with it as you feel you would like. And you might do that with the gearing. So how about we get one started and see how it goes and see whether we need to come back here and adjust this. So we'll hit start. And I guess I better hit the accelerator so I'm ready to go and we get the go signal. Now, you might notice some things going on when we get on the track here. Will that guy fly off the track? I bet you if I were to do that, my car would have to go back and redo that corner. But now this guy's going to interfere with me the whole race. He may get disqualified when we get to the finish, for not being in front of me. Okay, we've got 5 laps to do. Just completed one. I spent as long as 45 minutes doing 3 different tournaments and only got 1 race in that period of time. I would not recommend doing that normally. I find if you can't get a race in about 6 tries, you might as well just quit the tournament and go on to something else. Say one of the other tournament challenges. Well, it's a good thing I maxed out this guy's speed, I think. Oh, well. So the races go much like they do when you play offline against bots. Except for, as I say, you don't get a car that you can do a lot with other than tune it. I could go put my car back on the track, but you know what? I am now in last place. There is no point in doing that when you're playing against bots. You might as well just restart the race. And when you hit restart the race, you've got the option to go in and adjust tuning. I might make the gear ratio a little longer. Go back onto the track. But you know what? It could take me as much as 45 minutes to get a race in. Hopefully not, but you never know. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to call that the difficulty of doing tournaments. Now, what do you earn by doing tournaments? Why do you want to do them? Well, if you look up in the top right corner, it says Your Fame. There's a 47,100 there. And over down below tournament stats, there's a total fame gained. I've got 570,100. Which is, we go into, where can you spend your fame? Well, there's a tournament store. There's a special store just for tournaments. This is where you can spend your fame. Remember what I said? I had 507,100 total earned since I started playing the game. I could have had it hot bomb. 1 vehicle. What are all these other ones in here? Bundle, 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 bundle. And the Star Beast, I own it. Speedbird, I don't. There's a bundle here for 5,000 to 20,000, 10,000. Oh, here we go. Right in the center of the screen, the top, says paint. That is usually your most significant thing you get in a bundle. So I would suggest, since fame is so hard to earn, not spending it on bundles. Spend it on one if you want to find out what's in a bundle. It does usually include more than just a paint job. Sometimes there's a bumper or something or a roof ornament. There may be a couple of those, but I don't think they're worth it. I think you're much better off buying vehicles with your fame. They do range in price, as I said, from $500,000. That vehicle, when it originally was made available for the game, used to cost twice that much. The next highest amount you pay for vehicles, there are two vehicles for $100,000, two for $70,000, two for $60,000. I think there's two for $50,000, and there's one for $40,000 and one for $30,000. So you're much better actually buying vehicles with your hard-earned fame, because when you're earning your fame, it is almost like work. So if you're interested in tournaments, I hope this video helped you out because it just discusses the basics. There are various types of tournament events come up. You can see there's ones with flags here, there's ones with fists. The fist ones are a wreck type event. The ones with flags are normally some sort of racing event. You try to finish near the top, or you try to get as close to the front of the pack and collect as many points as you can while the event is on. And there's a snowball run, which is a special event in itself. It will only come up in the winter, where you tap your brakes or your handbrake, and you fire a snowball to damage the opposition. So if you've got a little interest in how tournaments work, I hope this helps you out.